Hello everyone, this is Risk here, back from a 2.5-week vacation from making content. I was on vacation, but now we are back with a series that I am sure you will all be very excited for. It is TLO versus KOS ZvT, episode number 1 of No TLO. Now recently TLO released an 82 replay pack of his games. And a lot of you may be saying to yourself, no way, he's about to say what he's going to say. Yep, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to analyze TLO's replays one by one over the course of the next few weeks, every single day for the rest of the summer. Hype. I've done the math, which means we should be done with this series probably by late August. Unless we do 1 or 2 a day, which we might do. So without further ado, let's jump into game one last time. It's going to be TLO versus KOS on this first one. So, game capture here. We are back over here. It is KOS and Liquid TLO, TVZ KingSejong station. Let's get this party started. Ah, yes. So good. So things we're going to be going and looking for, this will be a on the fly. I have not watched these. We are looking for any sort of thing we can pick up on with TLO, what we can learn from him. I'm hoping by the end of this series we'll have a very thorough understanding of kind of the ideals behind TLO and the way he plays. But for now, we're cold running through most of this. This is a 13-minute and 44-second game. We'll go ahead and go on ×2 speed to get a feel of everything and the way it's going. So ZvT lately, as we know, there is the Queen buff that is going to be on the way. And actually, I should probably lower this volume. I have a feeling it's going to be stupidly loud. So let's go 0 sound effects, 0 ambient noises. That works right there. Maybe, yeah, that works. That works. All right, let's go with that. Well, let's go with that. Sorry about that, guys. So, as we know, ZvT lately, there has been some changes to the Queen and the Spore Crawler. These were all played prior to that. Now, I'm guessing after the changes, we will be seeing much more likely to see a lot more Queens in openings to stop any sort of turn aggression. TLO going with the normal 17 hatch, of course. KOS over here with the normal Gas Reaper timing. Even puts it right here. The reason they do this is because it's easier to put the reactor. You don't have to lift and do stuff. Now, if 14-14 went into style, this would be kind of dangerous, but it's pretty easy to get away with. It's very uncommon that Zerg goes for a cheese like that. Put his gas down on 17 as well, and he will be putting his spawning pool down in a second. But like I was saying, this was before the patch, so we have to keep our eyes open for kind of what TLO is going for, even without having that extra nice defense from the Queen buff that's going to be incoming. We can see here we got 3 guys on gas as usual. Notice the Overlord placement. This first one's being rallied right over here. And this Overlord, okay, right here. I was going to say, this seemed like a weird spot to put the second Overlord. We have Orbital Command, got the Reactor on the way, all pretty standard from both these players. CC at 19 supply, everything rolling along smoothly. But pretty soon we will start to see the junction in TLO's play as he starts to choose to do something a little bit different, is my guess. So, what do we got going here? We got the double Marine on the way into, ooh. So, this is not a factory opening. This is very interesting. KOS decides to put down the second barracks instead of a factory, which I don't know if that's super common right now, but that's immediately that is telling me that that's something that's a little bit interesting. I'm curious to see where he's headed with that. Of course, there's the factory. This might be the double medevac drop that's so common on this spot, on this map. Look at this. TLO putting down an extremely fast third hatch. This is a 2-minute and like 25-26 second hatchery, so that would be probably a 21 supply third hatch, which is very aggressive. The reason he was able to do this is because it wasn't a Reaper opening. If there was a Reaper opening, there's no way TLO would be able to get this third hatch. But TLO correctly identifies the fact that there's no Reaper, so we can go ahead and take a greedier third base. So that's an excellent play from him. Notice he takes 3 guys off of gas after he gets 100 gas on his collected, which will obviously be going towards metabolic boost in a moment. Overlord saw the double Marine poking around. Notice that TLO removes this to a safer location. Okay, there's the metabolic boost. I was curious about that to see when that was going to go down. So we have a third queen on the way, so he's just droning up really hard now. What I'm curious about is when oh, he cancels! Okay, so what does he see? What does TLO see in this situation that makes him cancel Metabolic Boost? Now, this might have been just a decision from TLO that since there was no Reaper, he's kind of doubting that it's going to go into any sort of Hellion aggression. So he doesn't have exact knowledge of this, but he seems to think based off of the Marine count that he can get away with this, which is very smart. Very, very smart. That's very subtle. And he's going up to 4 queens, which is giving him the stability that you would normally... Oh, what? What? It's so weird. I don't even know. I should, like, text TLO. I should get his phone number and, like, ask him why he did this. It's a very strange thing. And now he's putting 3 more guys back on the gas. I got that nice cappuccino drink. And it looks like this is... What is this play? What is this play, ladies and gentlemen? I just noticed I was going on slower speed, so we'll kind of times through speed in a second. But TLO, he's got 4 queens. He's starting to kill the rocks. And life is good so far for him. Everything's good. A spine crawler right here. So he's anticipating based off of the Marine count that there is going to be that push on these back rocks. So TLO correctly identifies the fact that he needs to kill these rocks as soon as possible. And he's still droning up. He's going to go ahead and get this Evo chamber right here at around 345, which is a pretty common timing. Notice that he still has not gone up to Lariat. He has 140 gas. So this will most likely be for either carapace or melee or something on the lines of that. And he's getting his second gas right at around 50 drones. If we're looking at saturation, it seems to be right about when his natural got fully saturated. Or yeah, that seems to be where he's going with this. He is floating a lot of gas right now, so that seems relatively strange. His saturation got a little bit screwed up here. He should have done a better job of rallying drones over here. He's starting to get that creep spread going. That's kind of the bonus of having extra queens. But for now, what's the purpose of this double Evo chamber? What is this? This is so interesting. This is such a strange... This seems very strange to me, to be honest. Okay, so he's going to be getting double upgrades. And no Baneling nest in sight yet. So it seems like he just wants to have an overwhelming amount of lings off of this very quick third base. Look at this. TLO identifies there's still no third base, which at this point is still... It's still pretty standard, but it's good to have this vision right here, because every second that ticks by that there isn't a third base from the Terran, TLO kind of has that timer in his head that's kind of starting to tweak out, starting to be a little bit nervous the longer we don't see a third base. A great job by TLO. He's taking the watchtower. He's securing map vision. This Overlord still has a huge amount of vision. If we take a look at what we're seeing here, this will give him a lot of vision. This is giving him a lot of vision. I would like for TLO to maybe put a Zergling. I know it's hard. Probably put a Zergling right over here. And also one up top right over here, because that's a great spot for spotting medevacs. The tower gets you visions, but Terran will oftentimes path behind the watchtowers. He's seeing the extractors. He's seeing, in general, what's going down here. This is when the double medevac finally comes out here. Creep spread's looking good from TLO, and the rocks are killed. Creep spread already being spread this way. Ooh, TLO, I love you. TLO, I love you, my friend. You did exactly what I wanted him to do. And look at this Zergling, a beautiful Zergling spot. He's going to spot the double medevac. Now the Zerglings are being made. Pure Zergling. And notice how much this creep spread is going to be helping out TLO. He's rallying everything home. He's deciding that the rallying all the lings back is more important than the vision, which is it's sketchy, but he can re-spread out that vision really quick, so it's not a big deal. I just want to pause here. Let's take a look at the inject so far. This inject is perfect. He hasn't missed. Has he missed? This inject is almost perfect. It's a little bit off. I would have liked for TLO to spread out these overlords, whether it be just kind of out on the map. They seem to be a little bit wasted right here, but I mean, it's not a huge deal. This tumor kind of got a little bit neglected during all this. It's kind of hard, but if I was TLO, I would have focused on definitely hitting up this creep spread one last time, even during this chaos. The quicker you can push this creep to the Terran's 4th base, it's just such a good long-term investment. But TLO, because of this quick third base, has so many minerals, so many Zerglings. In cost, for some reason, I don't really like this decision making. He drops down the Marines right here, and he didn't even scan creep. So that push from him really didn't do much except force TLO to make Zerglings as opposed to drones, which really is important. But every second that ticks by, that cost does not have a third base, the worse it's going to be from him. He really needs to secure that soon. And now he's starting to pick off creep tumors, kind of exert his presence. He's getting some nice trades here. And there's some Banelings. It's looking good. On TLO's side of things, look at this. He's making another queen. And he's still spreading creep right now. So everything's looking fine and dandy from him. This is a little bit chaotic here. The the queens kind of being crazy, but it looks like he does pull that off. Now we want to see, okay, so double gas after he has full saturation at third. That's pretty standard from a Zerg player. Be sure to get those double gases up once your saturation finishes. And this is going to be a huge push from Koss. Now notice TLO is getting more and more queens, whether, I don't know if it's for creep spread or for stopping this push, because he's not going to have gas to afford mass muta. And look at the spore placement right here, very nice. I want to put this into slow speed. I'm not going to though. We're going to do it in game speed. He started +2/+2, which is very nice. If we look at the army supply, TLO has a lot more supplies, but Koss has very nice positioning. TLO has a small window of time to try to attack while the creep is still there. But this push from Koss is so strong, even with the back door down. That spore crawler is going to get nice. Here's the mass queen coming in here right now. Will the queens be able to do their job? And the tank's doing such a great job. They're picking off all of the banelings. But look at this. +1/+1/+1 are so good. He attacked before Koss had +1/+1. A correct identification from TLO that he had to push now. And look at this. The immediate respread of creep. One thing I want... Okay, that was very close. One thing I want to see right here is, does TLO move his queens back? Oh no, TLO! No! So this isn't going to show up in the idle workers tab because they're all on the gas, but this isn't mining right here. I'm curious to see if TLO sends these back home because he needs to continue injects. If we look at his larva, he doesn't have any larva, so that's But look at the edges that TLO has taken in this game. He took a quicker third base than normal because there wasn't a Reaper opening. And as a result of that, he was able to go mass ling with very quick upgraded lings to push back this push. And he used all of his queens as well to help push back against this. But we'll see where this game goes from here. A huge counterattack, and this is when TLO is going to realize that there is not a third base. Oh, send the ling, buddy. Do it. There you go. He now knows that this is an all-in from Koss, essentially. There is really no end in sight for Koss. Like, he is going to try to take a third, but it's kind of a half-hearted, I hope I kill something important with this push. Koss now has +1/+1, which means any fight right now is going to favor the Terran player in general, even though they both have +1/+1. Marines with medevacs will trade better than against purelings, and as you can see here, he's pretty much taking the trade. Okay, so TLO correctly gets his drones back on. One thing I would have liked to see from TLO is definitely thrown on a fourth base here or here. I might even take it right here because of the creep spread is more pushed up towards the middle, or over here. There it is. There's the fourth base on the way. And now Koss, kind of getting desperate, is going to try to take a third base. So TLO definitely has the lead because +2/+2 is going to be on the way. But he doesn't really have any endgame tech yet. So that's what this that's what the infestation pit's going to be going towards that hive. And you might be wondering to yourself, TLO, what are you thinking with this Roach Warren? This is going to be if there's any Liberators to get to get 4 Ravagers to be able to deal with that. So that's a very nice play. If we go to the units count, TLO is sitting at 66 drones, which is nice. Probably wants to be more up in the 80 range. He'll probably be heading towards that with this fourth base. I love this backdoor creep spread. His vision's really, really hardcore established. Love the Overlord placement. He's done a good job at that. I still would have liked an Zergling right here. Koss doing a beautiful thrust up the middle with his main army as he pushes with this little drop over in the corner, so that's a nice play. This Overlord is still here. If I was Koss, I would have gotten rid of this because there's so much that gives you so much knowledge as a Zerg player when the Terran's moving out. This Overlord has given a lot of information, way more than it should have. TLO going mass Spine Crawler, interesting. So he's identified that there is no more tanks, and he's decided that he needs to hold on to this fourth base at all costs. Okay, did you guys hear that? I don't know if you guys heard that. I said at all costs, which is ironic because it's obviously costs we're talking about here. What I meant is at all costs. Alright, so back to the game. Sorry about that. At all costs. Costs. Alright, so now Koss is really pushing in here, really hardcore, and he's trying to not let TLO have time to establish this. If we look at where Koss is at, he's on a timer right now. Sure, he's got the third base down, but his main base is going to be mining out very shortly, and even his natural is starting to get thin down here because of all the mule drops. So this is a very sketchy situation for Koss, but it's also a sketchy situation for TLO. But oh, I missed it. I missed it. I'm sorry, guys. Drink the cappuccino, ladies and gentlemen. Let's watch this in slow motion. So TLO, these were units he had at the tower right here. He's also going to send... How does he do this? All right, let's slow this down. Where's he getting these? Okay, so he has a backdoor Ling flank right here. And there's not much stuff here except the winter mines. And look at this. TLO activating all of the Widow Mines before the fight. A beautiful little flank, that little Zergling army that went up here and then bopped back down. What a great job from TLO with that engagement. Hive is on the way. He has +2/+2. If he, his injects really started to fall apart. Mechanically, it's kind of important to stay on top of that. That drop in the bottom left happened all at the same time, but fortunately TLO had kind of the double queen spore crawler setup, so he's fine over here. But now is important. There are infestors on the way, which with these spine crawlers, it's going to be very hard for Koss to break in here. I'm expecting the Ultralisk Cavern any second now. I'm always curious to see if players prioritize the +3/+3 adrenal glands or if they prioritize the Ultralisks. The drones have been sent over here, so the 4th base is now safely underway. And all these Widow Mines. Oh, wow. Wow. What's happening? The splits. Splits for days, boys. Splits for days. And TLO kind of sending out his little miners. He really needs some overseers right now. I don't know why TLO hasn't gotten overseers yet. Another thing at this point in time, if I was TLO, I would still be spreading this left side creep over here, and I would have gone ahead and taken this 5th base. It's probably very hard in this situation, but it would be extremely nice because Koss is already behind on his production, so his main army is already incredibly weak. So if you can even force him to siphon off a drop, it's going to weaken him a lot more than he already is, because Koss is really not in a really good spot. Even though the supplies is close, TLO has the 4th base mining, where Koss is literally just now establishing his 3rd base. Main base mining out, natural mining out. Ultralisk Den on the way. Alright, so TLO doing a good job of sending out those single links, even bringing the spore crawler. I love it. Great job there by TLO, allowing him to have some form of detection. Actually, with the Infestors here, that's some hardcore Infestor bait if I've ever seen. And the fungal growth with the Banelings, +2/+2 with the Spore Crawler, still alive for detection. Oh man, juicy Lucy, ladies and gentlemen. Ultralisk Cavern's almost done. He's starting okay, interesting. So TLO goes for +3 attack as opposed to +3 melee, which makes sense. It's 100 gas less. I'm curious which gives you more damage overall, the adrenal glands or the +3 melee, but I'm assuming he goes with the melee because the Ultralisks are going to be kind of the mainstay, the survivability. And now TLO is just going to turtle here with Infestor, Corrosive Bile. He's got the 4th base. Now he's taking his gases once he's feeling comfortable with his saturation. And Koss has really got a better army right now, but these Spore Crawlers are, or not Spore Crawlers, these Spine Crawlers are actually a great idea by TLO. He's just going to use the Corrosive Bile to phase out the Terran. And now he's going +3 melee, still no Ultralisks. Very interesting, TLO, very interesting. Why? I wonder why he's doing this. It's a very strange choice. Okay. TLO, Mr. Creative. Wow. Wow. Get there. Oh, no. No. Oh, wow. That was sick. That was so sick. Oh, here comes another one. Oh, the fungal. Do it, TLO. Oh, my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, okay. I get way too hyped about fungal corrosive bile combo. It's too juicy. It's just so good. Once again, though, TLO, where is your overseer, bro? He needs at least one overseer. There's literally no excuse for it, even for TLO. No excuse. In terms of drone count, he's still sitting at 68. He's pretty nice. Still yet, he's not made a single Ultralisk yet. Not a single one. We can see, I love the single Infestor float. It's such a good idea. Oh, and now Liberator's in play, but we got the Spore Crawler here. Build an Ultralisk, TLO. He's floating so much money. Why hasn't he built? Oh, he's supply blocked. TLO is supply blocked right now. This is really going to hurt him. He's floating so much money, but once he can get more Overlords on the way, he's going to be in a very good spot. But this is Koss's moment right now. This is his moment to push. We have a Ling counterattack, and now he's not attacking the wall anymore. He's actually going over to the natural. But TLO, okay, 7 Overlords on the way. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Huge counterattack, nothing in the bunker. That's not good for Koss. And now the corrosive bot. Oh, the Infestors. Oh, Mr. Infestor. Mr. Infestor, do your worst. Oh, no. We'll kill him. Oh. Wow. TLO, I have never even thought to do that. And notice what he did there. He made this play over here on the main army while he was counterattacking. So while Koss's attention was completely thrown over here, TLO decided to go for that little fancy Infestor play. And at this point, 1 Ultralisk, 2 Ultralisk, 3 Ultralisk, 6 Ultralisk on the way. He actually has Ravagers, so Liberators aren't going to be an issue. And that's pretty much game, set, match. in summary, Koss went for kind of a 2-base push. TLO held it off very, very nice. Got his 4th base, defended it with Ravager and Infestor, made some very, very nice trades, and essentially he starved Koss out, like, pretty much. I mean, Koss got a very delayed 3rd base. TLO did a good job of not taking too much damage, but this is what's unique about TLO. Stuff like this. The single Infestor burrowed. Oh, it's so good! It's so good by TLO to do that. I'll have to try to incorporate that into my own play. And he just has such great control over his Infestor, Corrosive Bile. And here comes the Ultralisks. Wham bang! Bring him in, boys. Bring in the big boys. We're bringing them in, and meanwhile, counterattacks the entire time. Obviously leaving behind Burrowedlings, because why not? And this is going to be game, set, and match. 177 play to 89. And TLO, actually, interestingly enough, only stayed on 68 drones the entire game, essentially. And he pretty much did not falter from that. I still criticize TLO in that he needs to take his 5th base. Take your 5th base, bro. All of this is important, and I know he knows all of this is important, but taking a 5th base is still more important than any of this going on here, because if somehow he miraculously held, your edge in the game is no longer there, and that was his economic edge. So there's almost no reason not to take that. Also at this point, I know it's hard from him, but why not throw down the Spire, head towards Greater Spire in this case, in this point in the game. Also, we can see that TLO's vision kind of fell off, even though he has great base vision. Why not throw a Burrowedling here? Why not throw a Burrowedling here? And why not put a Ling over here? Very small things, very nitpicky things, but things that we can emphasize nonetheless. Ultralisk armor almost done, and yeah, this is just over. This is just GG, boys. GG, lads. GG. Beautiful game. Love it. Might as well check the APM tab. TLO playing like a madman. What a game. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that was TLO versus Koss, ZvT episode number 1 of No TLO. The winner of this game. Go ahead. Wow. The winner of this game was TLO. Great game by TLO. That was episode number 1. We will be doing all 82 replays. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. By the end of this series, we are going to know TLO. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe. This is RiskSC, and I will see you guys next time.